Okay, let's talk about the second most disappointing thing about my 2016 Subaru Outback, and that is the battery that came in this car. This is the second most disappointing thing. This battery, 3 times in the 2.5 years that I've had the car, this battery has ran down very quickly. If I accidentally left like a driver's side door open or a rear hatch door open, basically if I left the doors open and was working or doing something with the vehicle, I could real easily find myself with a dead battery when I tried to start the car. The last time this happened, I took my granddaughters camping, and we were actually loading up the back of the Subaru with camping gear. And it came a little quick shower of rain that we ducked in, then we came back out and finished loading up. By the time we got back out to the car, the battery was dead, wouldn't start. So anyway, I'd looked online, and there was kind of skepticism as to whether this would work or not. And hopefully I'm going to show you today that it will work. This battery, if I zoom in here, look right there in the center. That's only a 356 cold cranking amp battery. That's what it left the factory with. And to my knowledge, that's what all of them came with. Now if we look in here, there's a lot more room here alongside here for a bigger battery. And that's what we're going to take care of today. And so what we're doing basically is we're going to take this Group 25 battery. You can see that right in the center there, right under the 356 cold cranking amps. We're going to take the Group 25 out, and we're going to replace it with an EverStart Max that I picked up over at Walmart. Now, notice this is a Group 24 battery, and below that Group 24 you can see it's 700 cold cranking amps. In other words, this battery is going to be almost a full 200% better than what I've got in there. Now, is that necessarily going to provide more voltage or starting power? Well, that's not what I'm going for. What I'm really going for is the reserve. This battery will have at least twice the capacity to be able to hold that drain, so that a short time of working on or around the car with the doors open won't let it run down. So anyway, if we look in on the left, I've got the battery pushed all the way over to the right as far as it can go, and you can see that we've got this extra space here, and this extra space is going to fit our Group 24 battery perfectly. The Group 24 battery is the same height as the Group 25, and it's the same width as a Group 25, so there shouldn't be a problem there at all. The only thing that I did have to make a small modification, and it was a simple one for me, is there's we call them a cozy, or an insulator that goes around this battery. I've got it pulled off, and here it is. I'll lay it back up here on the corner of the car. So here's what that insulator looks like. It's just basically a big plastic like cardboard insulator. People say it's there to help protect it a little bit from heat and cold. And what I ended up doing on this is I ended up basically cutting the cozy right in the center on each side, and then inserting this 1.25 inch piece of chloroplast. And chloroplast, if you don't know, is that it's almost like cardboard with plastic in it. It's what a lot of the realtors and your politicians use for outdoor signs. It's relatively inexpensive, and you can usually find it quite often around where there's been signs thrown away. But anyway, I put in an 1.25 inch section into the center, and then what I did after I hot melt glued that in there is I ran me a piece of Gorilla duct tape over it to help reinforce it and to make it black instead of white, you know, just kind of make it match the car. So it looks very much like the original, and it fits my new battery perfectly fine. So there it is going over the new battery, and that'll take care of that part of it. So anyway, let me start changing this out, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we get done. Okay, now I want to show you another little thing I created here. Just something simple. This is optional, totally optional. But as you can see here, what I've got is I've got an RC battery that's I use with my RC helicopter actually. And I've created a cord coming off of this. This is a 12-volt battery. And I've created a cord to come over, and I've got 2 alligator clips on here. And I've got the ground hooked up to the ground, the hot hooked up to the hot. And what that's going to allow me to do is take these battery terminals off of this battery without the radio and the windows and stuff losing their memory. And so that should help, you know, the car will never be completely without a battery while I do the swap out. So anyway, I've already got those on there, and I've got the little battery holder tie downs. Those come loose. Here's something I found out too. I thought these were threaded on top, and they're not threaded on top. They're actually designed to come loose on the bottom. I didn't know that when I was first started working. It looked like they were threaded up there, but these actually come out at the bottom. So anyway, here's one of them, and the other one's on the other side here. I've already got it loosened up. And so I'll take that out, put it over to the side. Now, there is a clip on this negative battery cable here, and you have to get a pair of pliers and squeeze the bottom part of it. You can see right there's the hole that clip actually goes down into, but you should be able to unclip it and get it loose from that battery holder. And when you do, this battery holder will come right up out of there. And of course, we've got to get the terminals off of there first. So let's actually loosen up the terminals here. I'll just loosen them up a little bit, and we'll take care of both of them. Don't have to get them real loose to get them off, and mine came off real easily. So I'll set that over here. The ground, it doesn't matter where it goes to. But the hot one, we want to make sure that when we put it over here, that it's not touching anything on the ground, of course. So I'm going to kind of hook it over here on this piece of vacuum hose. And that, with those wires going over to LiPo, this circuit still has 12 volts. So now we can go ahead and take our battery clamp out and lift the battery out, put the other one in. I'll do that and I'll be right back. Okay, and here we are back. I've got the battery in here. I don't have the clamp on it yet. We're going to put the actual cozy back on it. So we'll go ahead and get that relocated back on here. And we'll put it in here. To tell you the truth, I can't remember which side went where on the cozy. There's a short side and a high side. And my thoughts in general are that I want to try to keep that heat of the engine away from it. So I'm going to put the tall side toward the engine. It may not be right. I should have looked at that before I took it off, but I don't think it's going to make a world of difference either way. Now I can go back and put the battery tie down holder back in here. So there that is, and I'll start these screws in here.
And the other one started in here.
Alright, so it's got everything started. Now I do want to show you something down on this along the side. You can see here, got about a ½ inch of space here at the bottom. On the other side, we're pretty well over there. So this battery could have been about a ½ inch longer. Again though, I couldn't find any that would fully fit the tray. But this is a Group 24 battery. Now, this is not a 24F. A 24F was designed for Ford pickups, and if you get a 24F, this battery terminal that's positive right here, you can see the positive writing on it, that's going to be flip-flopped. So if you do this, you want to make sure to use a plain Group 24, not a 24F. So I'll go ahead and get my battery terminals put back on here. I'll start with the hot post first, and we'll get it aligned here. Push it down on here a little bit. Okay, there that is. And we'll put the ground on here, and then I'll tighten things down. We'll see how it goes. Be right back. Okay, so I've got the battery all in position now. The cozy's back on there. From this side, you can't even see, really from either side, you can't tell that that's ever been split as far as that wrap that goes around the battery goes. But anyway, got it all back in. So now I can actually take off the temporary cables here that we're holding that voltage on there. So I can do that, get rid of the LiPo battery. I'll unhook it, and then we'll take and make sure that everything's going to fire up okay. Okay, so we've got everything in, we got everything tightened down, got the protector back over there. Battery should be sitting just like the other one was. Shouldn't have any problems at all with it. I will double check. Yeah, we're good. We're good. No problem there as far as clearance goes. So anyway, close the hood. We'll get in and see how it goes. There we go. Chimes are chiming. That's a good sign. And promptly started up. We'll look over at the driver's side window, because I did put that little battery tender, LiPo on there. That's auto down, and this is auto up. And if I look at my radio, hit the home button, looks like everything's on there. If I hit audio, yeah, everything looks good here. So anyway, that's it. You can put in a 2016 Outback. You can fit in a Group 24 battery. I'm not giving you technical advice here, just saying it worked for me. I cannot speak to as to whether or not this will work in other models of Outbacks or Foresters or anything, so don't even bother messaging me there. But the bottom line is, it works in the 2016 Outback. I now have a much more dependable battery in this car than the factory sent out. Other than the I will say this too, in closing, other than the battery being so small in this car, brand new, and the tires, those Bridgestone Duelers, wearing out virtually by 25, 27, 28,000 miles. Well, let's see. I'm actually right now at 27,112, and I'm guessing I'll be replacing those tires. They'll be totally worn out legally, and legally is really dangerous when you get down to that point. But the bottom line is, they're going to be worn out easily by 30,000 miles, and that's with me rotating those tires at every oil change and keeping the tire pressure up good in them. There's just no excuse for tires in 2018 to be wearing out that fast. But anyway, hope you found this video informative, and yep, you can put a Group 24 battery in the 2016 Subaru Outback. Thanks for watching.